So Congress just passed probably one of the biggest housing affordability acts in probably a generation. If you have been getting beaten out with cash offers, this one very likely may help you out. Good morning, everyone. Your Central Florida Realtor Joe here. Come have a cup of Joe with me. Let's talk about it. So a bill just passed both House and Senate with overwhelming support. It's called the Century 21 Road to Housing Act. And among other things, it limits how many properties an investment purchaser can own or control at one time. Now, as a realtor, why do I care? As an investment buyer or an individual buyer, I get paid the same commission as long as I represent the buyer. So why does it matter? Well, for me personally, I believe that an individual homeowner builds and supports community in ways that an investment buyer / renter combination just doesn't. Also, I appreciate limiting the ability for an investment buyer to come in and purchase all the homes because it lowers demand. Once you lower demand, then in a healthy market, we should see prices come down, which is really important in the Central Florida area, where over the last decade, we have seen home prices increase by 140%. We've seen rent increase by like 90%, and we've seen wages increase by 30%. And a huge portion of that housing and rent increase stems from or can be attributed to investment purchasers. Companies like Invitation Homes and American Homes for Rent, who own roughly 82,000 and 52,000 properties respectively nationwide, but 10 to 15% of those properties are here in Central Florida. That's not a small piece of the pie. That's huge. So those companies will typically come in and purchase these homes with cash, usually beating out the individual buyers who are coming with FHA and conventional loans, and then rent those homes back to those same buyers when they can't find or afford the houses in the area that they're trying to buy in. So limiting those purchasers in the Central Florida area should have a significant impact. Now, this legislation hasn't been signed yet. Trump has tied it to his SAVE Act, saying he's not going to sign it unless they pass the SAVE Act as well, which I think is unfortunate. But if it sits unsigned for 10 days, it becomes law anyway. And if it has to go this route, there was enough support in both the House and the Senate to pass this legislation with the 2/3 majority to override any veto. That's not the full story, though. Once it does become law, we still have to see how the regulations are written and how it's going to be enforced. The legislation is not necessarily written in a way to protect the individual homeowner, so that is something we're going to have to watch and monitor. But overall, I still believe that this is a step in the right direction. This is good news. If you have any questions about how this is going to affect your home search in the Central Florida area, drop them below or send me a message. Hit those like, follow, share buttons. It's always appreciated. And thank you for coming to have a cup of Joe with me.